Shiraz,
Yeah.
the brother can fight, bro.
You know what I'm saying? But I gotta stop that. You know what I'm saying? I gotta show these guys that now I'm here and he's in my city. I'm taking this fight very serious. You know what I'm saying? And when it's time to show out, fight week come, it's gonna be a different Edgar Berlanga.
What's up, my people? This the Black Toe Sugars. I'm Showbizz Adult, here with the chosen one, Edgar Berlanga. What's going on, brother?
What's good, man?
Good to
What's
see you,
up,
man.
Good.
Listen, bro, it's hard to see you. You're shining. There's a story behind all of that.
Yeah.
And that's what I want to get to. A lot of people, they act like they know you, but they don't know you.
Yeah.
I want to know where you're from. You're from Brooklyn, Puerto Rican heritage. Tell me your story, brother.
I'm from Brooklyn. I was born in Brooklyn. I say I'm big New York because, when my dad went away he went away to prison, we bounced around a lot with my mom and, my sisters and stuff. I was in the Bronx, I was in a shelter home in Hunts Point, the Bronx. Then they moved us to Webster Projects, you know what I'm saying? And then before that, I was living in Douglas Projects and like 103rd in Columbus, you know what I'm saying? So I was up there for a long time. My mom's side of the family lived in those projects for like over 50 years. And then we wound up moving to Lower East Side, so I'm like, you get what I'm saying? Like, that's why I say I'm like big, because like, it's like I moved around a lot and stuff, so just, from my upbringing, you know what I'm saying? And then my dad going away from prison and I having my father and my mom working 2 jobs, and I've seen my mom every day because she was just working, working every day, trying to pay the bills, pay the rent. We was on, welfare, food stamps and stuff. So, yeah, it's like what you said is a lot,
That's what I'm saying. Because listen, when I made any type of money, I immediately went out and I got that Corvette that my dad couldn't get.
Yeah.
He passed away before he was able to get that Corvette. So I got it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
so when
for sure.
I see that, it's kind of like, it's not what people think. It's not just being flashy.
Yeah.
There's pain there, and there's just stuff to be proud of. I'm not going to ask you, but I want to ask you. A lot of money?
A lot of money, yeah, for sure.
A lot of success?
A lot of success, but I don't really I don't want this this is my image at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
This is what I love. I don't really have to fake it, you know what I'm saying? Like, I love jewelry since a kid. I love, I grew up in a hip hop culture.
Right.
Seeing Fat Joe, seeing Fabulous, back in the 2000s, Nelly. I grew up in that era, you know what I'm saying, seeing that. So me, as a young kid, I was like, damn, like, then, I lived in a project, so you got, the guys that was hustling outside,
They were superheroes, bro.
Yeah, bro. So I looked at them like, oh, like it came with the big cars, big watches and stuff. So I used to see that, I used to be like, damn, but I want to be like that, but obviously in a legal way, positive, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And, my dad pointed me in this direction and being a boxer.
So, you started boxing. This is another thing, because you came out knocking everybody out, bro.
Yeah.
Right? And a lot of people are like, okay, yeah, he's just a big puncher. But they don't know. You have a deep amateur background. You started, what, 7 years old?
Yeah, since a kid, since I was 2 years old, watching Tito Trinidad. My mom, my grandmother used to bring her friends over. We used to watch all the fights. I was like a diehard Tito Trinidad fan as a kid. When Hopkins beat him, I was crying,
Brother, that
and
was so disrespectful.
Yeah. Yo, but I seen Hopkins at this last show at the Ring 2, with with these guys that fought, and I seen Hopkins and I hugged him and stuff, and he was like, yo, he showed me mad love, and I was like, yo, man, like, you beat my favorite fighter, bro. You used to have me crying, bro, every day. I used to put the tape and watch it. I used to be tight. But now that I'm older and I understand, he came from prison, so I told him, I said, yo, bro, like, my dad came from that, like, that's what I grew up around, so I was like, I got a lot of respect for you, you know what I'm saying? And he went to my island, you threw the flag on the floor.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
You know what I'm saying? Like, he's crazy. But, now that I'm older now, I respect it, because it takes a man with big balls to go do some, like that in Puerto Rico, bro. Thank God he's alive, man.
Yeah. Well, yeah, big facts, dude. Because I'm saying, I can relate to that, though, because when Tarver knocked out Roy Jones was my hero, bro. Yeah. He said, any excuses tonight, Roy? He knocked him out. I hated Tarver for years. I'm going to say it. Tarver, I hated you for years. But then, after growing up, he saw me, walking down the hallway, like, yo, Showbizz. And he's a cool dude, and I'm hating this guy for nothing. Yeah. Let's talk about fanboying a little bit.
Yeah.
You fought Canelo Alvarez.
Mm-hmm.
There's a huge point to take away with that fight.
Yeah.
You didn't win that fight, but you won something because the product was excellent. The fight was violent, and you brought violence, and that's what people want to see in boxing. Talk a little bit about the fact that going undefeated is one thing, but giving the fans what they want is really winning.
That's the most important thing. You know, you could win a fight, right? But when you give when you give the fans a fight that they can remember for decades, that's different. You know what I'm saying? To this day, Mexicans still stop me and like, yo, we want to see the rematch, bro, because there was just so much excitement. You know, so that's why people don't understand, like, people that's not like boxing people that just watch, that the real boxing people know, like, nah, that fight was a big fight.
Yeah.
I shut down New York, like, and then I gave the fans a fight, like 12 rounds. I stood in his face, punching with him.
Yeah.
I didn't run like this last cat that fought him. I ain't run like Charlo. I ain't do that. I came at him with the least amount of experience. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Skull, Olympian, world champ, Charlo, undisputed, you know what I'm saying? Billy Joe Sanders, all these guys, bro, world champions. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At that level, I didn't have no experience, and I went in there, you know what I'm saying? Thank the Lord, I went in there, and like I said before, I put my nuts on the table, and I said, yo, bro, I got this, and I got this, I'm good, let's get it.
Not just punching power, you were doing in there.
Oh, yeah.
You were doing stuff, you were executing some IQ in there, some game plan in there that wasn't running around. Listen, bro, listen. I put on X that I want a no running rule.
Yeah.
Okay?
And just to let you know, you talking like that, I promise you're gonna have so much hate comments.
Yeah, I know. But listen,
that at the end of the day, you doing that, we selling it. You know what I'm saying? Like, at the end of the day, it is what it is.
I don't, it's not like I'm against hit and not get hit. There's a difference between being slick, being defensive, countering, and damn running. You know the difference between William Skull and Muhammad Ali.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
1,000%.
But what you do as far as the violence, no matter what people say about, hating on what I was saying about the no running rule, there's something about the way people gravitate to how you box. You start going the full distance.
Yeah.
What happened?
No disrespect to Mike Tyson, but look at the first round, the records of the people he faced. Mine's is above his. So I wasn't fighting no cab drivers or no Walmart workers, you know what I'm saying? On dude that works in Starbucks, you know what I'm saying? Like, I was fighting guys. Top Rank was trying to match me up with guys to make me go rounds. They're like, yeah, Edgar probably knock him out in the later rounds, but we need this kid to go rounds. Like, we need him. So they kept upping the opponents. Look at the records, upping the opponents. And I just kept putting them out. But then, the Mon came and I knocked him down like 4 or 5 times, you know what I'm saying? But after that fight, I said, yeah, I need that experience, because if I'm gonna fight these guys at 168, I need to go those rounds. You know what I'm saying? I need to experience.
So wait, you saying it's by design a little bit?
Now I want to say design. You know what I'm saying? Because then I split with Mark. With Mark Ferrite. Obviously, you seen once I got back with Mark Ferrite, the knockout streak came back.
100%.
First round knockout. My last fight went the distance 12 rounds hard with Canelo. Before that, knocked Patrick McCory out. Before that, we fought Jason Quigley. Right before going back with Mark. Damn near destroyed his face, dropped him like 5 times. You know what I'm saying? So you see the difference when I was with Mark, and when I was going a distance like that, me and Mark separated, you know what I'm saying? And Mark was the one that built me. But I needed that though. It's God's plan. So I needed that right there. I need to go those rounds, because I knew in my head, I said, damn, how the hell I'm gonna fight Canelo or fight this dude or this dude, and I haven't went 12 rounds yet.
But that was a very brilliant answer. I wish I could dig into that little bit more. but listen, brother, that was a pause. We can almost stop the show right there. But listen, that last thing. Listen, Shiraz, he can fight.
Yeah, of course, I know.
And I saw you in a press conference. You were talking about knocking him out. You gave him the clap. Pause. It really is getting bad. but listen.
Shiraz is a guy that he's coming with everything. You know what I'm saying? He's coming to be the best version of himself that night. So this is why I'm going to the mountains. This is why I'm going to go be with the Bears again, you know what I'm saying? And hibernate with the Bears and put myself away from the world for 9 weeks. Because I know what's coming. I'm not only fighting him, I'm fighting everything else. You know what I'm saying? 14,000 people, the lights, I'm in my city. You're gonna have a whole bunch of celebrities get invited to the fight. It's gonna be a coming out party for me, but it's also gonna be a coming out party for him, because, you know, in his back of his mind is like, if he beats me, he's going to the big league.
Yeah.
The real, like, he's gonna go Canelo. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Because you gotta give respect. Canelo's the top dog, so he gonna go there. You know what I'm saying? But I gotta stop that. You know what I'm saying? I gotta show these guys that now I'm here and he's in my city. Fight week come, it's gonna be a different Edgar Berlanga.
That's a lot of pressure, but pressure make diamonds, man.
Yeah, and pressure build everything.
Thanks, brother. That's the Black Two Sugars.
Know that. Sir, let's get it.